All right, and so as we get started and talk about finance or finance, this is a very, very important topic. It's a very important subject. It cuts across everybody. It affects our day-to-day experiences, and I just want to talk about a couple of things before we now go to the other aspects that make for finance as a whole. So first and foremost, so when we talk about finance, the starting point is usually not the beginning point for most people, and it's because as you grow into life, you just start to get yourself engaged in things that you probably did not prepare yourself for. But irrespective of your preparedness or not, life will happen. Do you get what I'm saying? Life is going, time is moving, and all that. So it's important. So when we talk about finances, the first thing that is most critical is financial intelligence, is financial education. Do you get what I'm saying? It's financial literacy. This is very important to note. I'll give us time to be writing. So it's financial education, financial literacy. The first thing is, how many books have you read on finances? What do you know about finances? What do you know about it? I guarantee you, what most people know about it is just, once I finish school, let me start to work and earn money, and then that's it. But as they go in life, then they will begin to experience the root shock. Do you get what I'm saying? Of, there's more to this thing than I know. And sadly, most people are living financial principles that they picked from the environment, from their parents, from systems and structures that have not engaged the right principles that make for lasting impact. Do you get what I'm saying? So there is a way a seed grows. Do you get what I'm saying? A seed, you need to put it in the right environment for it to thrive. You put it in the ground, you are watering it, it will grow. Do you get under the right condition and situation? But the same seed can fall on another ground. Do you get what I'm saying? And experience a different outcome altogether. And not because it's not a seed, it's just because the way it went about its experience is not the way it was ordained for it to go. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is very important. So we all every day go out. People go out very early in the morning, they get back at night. What are people trying to do? Waiting for a paycheck at the end of the month. But my question is, if we put half of that same energy to even understand what finance is, I guarantee you, your life will be better than now. Do you get what I'm saying? Everybody, think about it. We spend almost 70%, if not over. I mean, we did the calculation some time ago now. So you do 9 to 5, which is not 9 to 5 really. It's like 5 to 9. You get, because you wake up much earlier, you have to beat the traffic, you do all of those things, and then you finish work by 5 or 6. Some people even 7 or 8. Some people even wait till later to avoid the traffic because you will still get home late. At the end of the day, it's like 5 to 9. Do the calculation. That's about 17 hours. Abi, if you look at it, that's about 16 hours. 16 hours. 16 hours of 24 hours. What's the ratio? Yeah. So which is what? So if by that's about almost 70%. So you're using almost 70% of your time to chase a money that you don't understand. Do you understand? So the first place to start when it comes to finances is knowing about it. What's finances? What's money? It's financial literacy. It's financial education. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the starting point. The more you know, the more you grow. I'm telling you, the more you know, the more you grow. So invest more time to know. So if you want to make decisions about finances, about money, then it's important for you to give priority to financial literacy in your decision making. You are making decisions every day anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? Some money came into your hand last week, upper week. You made decisions about them. Those decisions determine the outcome of your life. They determine the outcome of your financial future. So the question is, how much of knowledge about finances do you have? What do you know about it? If I can ask somebody, how many books have you read of finances? Do you know? But you are playing out the principle of living out and engaging it without necessarily knowing how it works. And like they say, when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. If you don't know where you are going, you will likely get lost. And is it now surprising why we have more poor people in the world than rich? Because a lot of people have an idea of what they think finance is without even knowing. So you are working in a template that you didn't necessarily create, or you have not even paused to probe. How does money come into my hand? What do I do with my money? How do I guarantee that I don't end up like this in the next 5 years? If I continue the way I'm going about my finances, what does my next 1 year look like? My next 3 years, my next 5 years, my next 10 years? What does it look like? Do I have a chance of gaining financial freedom? You know, there's something called financial freedom. Majority of people don't know what it means. And because in life, you always need money, you need finances, you need to take care of things. If you don't get financial freedom, it means you will be slave to money till you die. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's important. We must deal with these basics. So financial intelligence is the bedrock of everything. That's the starting point. It's the starting point. If I may ask, so how many people have read like 3 books on finances before? Can you raise your hand? Like up to 3 books. Okay, thank you very much. Just how many have read up to 5? Okay. How many have read up to 10? Okay. How many have read up to 20? Okay. So the more you know, the more you grow. What you learn determines the extent to which you earn. Do you get what I'm saying? Determines the extent to which you earn. So if you want to increase your earning capacity, increase your learning capacity. What do you know about finances? What do you know about money? I hope this is practical enough. It's basic enough here. So there's what they call 20-40-60 principles. So just to give a general overview of what that is. We find, or it has been discovered, that people in their 20s and their 30s, they care too much about what other people think. How would they feel? What would they say? And all that. So in their 20s and 30s, that's what they live for. I bought this shoe, I bought this bag, I posted it, or I posted a picture, and nobody talked about it. And they didn't comment on it. Because you care too much what other people are thinking. When people get into their 40s, then some realities start to come. And they, I don't care what people say. I just want to do whatever is important for my life. And the root shock, when people now get into their 60s, they now look back and realize that nobody was actually saying anything after all. So you are the one that was thinking that you were breaking news. People were too busy and too focused on their life because everybody's facing their own problem and issues. And if you check it well, a lot of the things that we do is sponsored from a place of what will people think, what will people say, how will people feel. Is it not true? Particularly in a particular age. So what I'm bringing to you is what will liberate you on time. Do you get what I'm saying? On time. It will get you out of the validation trap, out of the insecurity trap, out of how will people think, what would they feel, what will people think about me and all of that. At the end of the day, nobody really cares. But do we care to know? But really, nobody really cares. As a matter of fact, if you think back, the things that you were trying to impress people on, after a while, you realize that nobody even remembered. Nobody cares. You see people trying to prove a point to people when they want to get married. You get married, you move on. You people cannot even remember your pictures. You can't remember the album. You can't remember the videos. You can't remember anything again because you've entered a new phase of life that the burden of this phase of life is requiring of you. Oga, deliver on it. You forget it. So we are too fixated on the now at the expense of the future. A lot of people don't know that, they are wearing clothes of the future now, which means they will be naked in the future without knowing. You are eating the food of the future now just because you want to keep up with the Joneses. You want to make, you want to prove a point to people and all those things. People don't care. At the end of the day, the people that you feel, if I don't do it now, I will disappoint them. If you disappoint them when you don't have, they will move on to other options. Do you know? So quickly, hope you understand that part. Financial literacy, financial intelligence, it is the bedrock of everything. You can't make informed decisions if you are not informed. Are we here? So you can't make informed decision if you are not informed. And they say if you are not informed, you'll be deformed. So how informed are you on this subject of finances and money? Because that is what rules people's life. As a matter of fact, the Bible makes us understand in the book of Matthew chapter 6 that you can't serve God and mammon. You will either serve one, despise the other, or you give yourself completely to one and then you lose the other. So because it's a big deal. It's a big deal. This determines everything. Because people have idolized money, but they don't know about it. Can you imagine? You are in a relationship with somebody that you don't know anything about. Think about it. Because that's what it is. Every day you're engaging money. You need money. You need it. I wish I had this and all that. It's the reason for a lot of high blood pressure. It's the reason for a lot of broken homes. It's the reason why a lot of people go into prostitution. Do you get what I'm saying? It's the reason for a lot of vices. But I have a relationship with it. I know practically nothing about it except what I picked from my parents, what I picked from my environment, what I picked from my friends, what I picked from social media, what I picked from my celebrity crush. Just think about it. And this have made a lot of people's life very miserable. And you hear all sorts. If you not propose me like this, that means he doesn't love me. They said, the way they say there's no romance without finance. By the time you start romance, and after a while, finance no dey. No, because really, it's a critical aspect of it. All right then. So a few things about financial literacy that we must teach. A few things about financial literacy that we must teach. Number one. So is it making sense so far? That's the starting point. If you don't deal with this thing, it will affect your Christian life. You don't understand? It will affect your Christian life. You would have legitimate bills to pay. You will need time to serve and know God. Do you get what I'm saying? There will not be a conflict. I'm in place of work, I need money, we need to pay bills, I need to go and serve God, I need my quiet time. So look at the conflict. So it means if you don't understand finances and being able to put it where it belongs, it will affect your relationship with God. Some of us can serve God well because we have some level of financial literacy. There are a lot of broke prayer warriors though. You understand? A lot of broke spiritual people. Spiritual Jim. A lot of broke miracle workers. Do you get what I'm saying? Because when they look at your life, it doesn't replicate what they would like to see or become. In fact, a lot of people don't even realize, they don't know what it means to live your dream life. Because it will just be a dream. It will be in your dreams. They don't know what it means to live a dream life. It will just be in their dreams. Because for you to live your dream life, it has to be sponsored. For it to be sponsored, the only way people know how to do it is to work for money. They work for money, and that's the irony. People work for money with their life and with their health, and now come back to use the money to take care of their life and their health. What an irony. You get? You exert yourself, you lose your health, you lose your life while chasing money. Only for the few people to even get the money to now, in return, use the money to start to take care of the health. That's not God's plan for you. And it's as simple as understanding money and understanding finances and understanding how it works. Laws and principles, they make life predictable. If you understand how something works and you engage it, you don't need to hassle yourself too much. Let me say something that my boss use spiritual people's bubble here. I tell you for free, money doesn't answer to fasting and prayer as much as it answers to common sense. Because there are people that have it that don't fast and pray. Do you get what I'm saying? There are people, Hindus, atheists, that don't even believe there's a God, that engage the principles that make for it because they know how it works. So financial literacy is critical. So few points about financial literacy that we must understand. Number one is basic things, simple things, but very profound. Number one, live within your means. You know, we have talked about the bedrock of it being financial literacy, financial intelligence, financial education. You get what I'm saying? But the first and foremost thing that you want to understand that financial intelligence and literacy will begin to teach you is live within your means. Because once your expenditure becomes more than your income, your expenditure will be your downfall. If it's more than your income, once your expenditure, what you're expending is more than your income, because you can't give what you don't have. You cannot spend more than you are getting. You cannot. It's not faith. It's not faith though. You Google know I'm a man of faith. So, but I'm telling you, if you spend more than your income, you are already living in financial frustration. So what then does this lead to? Then the second thing that financial literacy and intelligence will now bring to you and teach you on on the back of this is that you must have budgeting. There's what they call budgeting. You know what budgeting simply means? It means we allocate and apportion what comes in. Abi? So what comes in, we apportion and we allocate it according to your phase of life, according to your vision, according to what's important to you, according to the consideration of your past, your present, and your future. Do you get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people budget without future in view. So budgeting will tell you, this is what I can spend, this is what I cannot spend, this is what I can give, this is what I cannot give. Do you understand? It's not garbage in, garbage, anything, anyhow, God will understand. You can do that as far as that can take you. After a while, in fact, you yourself, you will not like yourself. Your experiences will become a miserable one. Do you get what I'm saying? So let's take a typical sample just to bring it home. But this is important because if we don't break this down and just rush you into it, so when I finish this one now, we will talk about it. You get? Then before we now move to the next one. So after this, I'll now talk about channels of wealth creation. You get how you can create wealth. Then I'll also tell you about thrift. There's what they call thrift. How that everyone has capital. Don't worry, it's not the thrift of Okrika. You get? It's not the thrift of Okrika. It's the thrift that speaks to that everyone has access to capital. Everyone has access to capital. But you'll see it. It's one of the most powerful things I'm telling you that you can. Everyone has access to capital. It's just that in this part of the world, education has done more harm to people, than they realize in that aspect. Where you think some things are beneath you. So social class has now put you in a dangerous class, in a miserable class. Okay, so that said, so typical example. You make how much? Zero. And no, don't worry, we'll get to that. You make, say, how much? Somebody just give me how much? 100K. Okay, let's pick the first person that spoke. 100K. So you make 100K. You make 100K. Now, the phase of life you are in, what are your current engagements? Can we list it? Let's even do it now. Thank you. So let's do let's just maybe some budgeting. Abi, let's do some budgeting. So you make 100K, Abi. That's income. That's 100K. Alright, so what are the different things that you do in your daily experience? Let's just say spiritual obligation. Abi, local church obligation. Local church obligation. Abi. Okay, or responsibility. So that's not that guy. Okay, what else? Okay, so feeding, transport, upkeep. What else? Savings. Thank you, sir. Emergency. Thank you. Outreach. But you know the funny thing? The funny thing is that it doesn't matter the number of what these things are. It's called budgeting. Do you get what I'm saying? That's part of the first problem people have. It's called you budget. You apportion which belongs to what. But first and foremost, you already think it's not enough. It cannot be budgeted. You will not cancel anything and let just anyhow the Lord will take it. Let's start from this one. Let's wait for a big one. That's where the problem is. Do you understand? People are waiting for the right time, and the right time never comes. Is this hitting home? Yes, sir. So we have done this now. So now we can now let's compartmentalize some of them. And so I want to just speak to maybe a few that might just be generic. Then some cannot be specific to you depending on where you are, what is going on in your your unique experience. So we cannot talk about, so there's savings, there's giving, There's that's living expense. There's what else? There's rent, self-development, Abi. Emergency. What? Family. Okay, that's giving. So that under giving, it should fall under your benevolence. Is you are giving out. It's not like they are not poor, they are not less privileged. Benevolence is I'm giving. Sometimes the terminologies people are using like it's not for the poor. My family own, you know. So is this basic enough? Medicals. You can put it under so if you say medicals should fall under your as it were. But you get because it can be very long. So because some of these things do have subsections, which is why it's important. Now follow me. When it comes to savings, eh, people just want to save. Why are you saving? What's the purpose of saving? To save us. To save us. Thank you. But you get but the essence of financial literacy altogether is to save you. Now, there are fundamentally three reasons why we save. First and foremost, so you save for, let me see. First of all, you save for investment. Let's use investment. No, you know what? I'm careful. If I'm going to put the order, that's what people will follow. So I'm careful. I can say it anyway, but people now say, no, first do emergency. It's not, you get what I'm saying? Even emergency is important. So you save for investment, you save for emergency, and you save for what? Capital expenditure. Capital expense. Do you understand? So investment, emergency, capital expense. Now, you don't just save to keep money, particularly in the world that you are in. Inflation will eat your money. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the purchasing power at a time, by the time, purchasing power of your naira as at 3 months ago or 5 months is not the same now. So which means what you have currently is not what you had when you saved. Do you understand? So if you don't get this, you just realize that you will think I kept money. Okay, what you can buy then buy now. So you don't just save for I just save. Is for investment, is for emergency, and is for capital expenditure. Now, investment expenditure no. So which means so first and foremost, my saving as I'm saving to invest. What do you do when you invest? I'm investing to put my money in assets and not in liabilities. Do you get what I'm saying? Assets in simple definition is what puts money in your pocket. Liabilities are what take away money from your pocket. If you buy a car just to be using so that I have arrived, that's a liability, except it's bringing money to your hand. But the same car somebody can buy, use it for transportation business, and it's bringing money. That is what assets. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's you first save for investment. I will stop on that. There are different type of investment too. High risk, low risk, medium risk, all of those things. You get what I'm saying? Then emergency. It is said that everyone should have at least 3 to 6 months of their monthly running expense in a bank or in a place saved up somewhere in case of unforeseen circumstance or emergency. Because if something comes up, for example, somebody experienced a flood, somebody's fire gutted whatever one somebody has and all, they don't immediately sink. They have something to even keep you afloat until you are able to get your foot, just to get your feet back on ground. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's why it's advised. So, but ideally, they say you should have minimum. In fact, it's advised that it should be 6 months. So that's why I said the beginning is financial literacy. Because if you don't have financial literacy, you can't even have financial discipline. You need to know the reason why I'm doing this so that I cannot discipline you. There cannot be self-imposed standards. Do you understand? Are we clear? Why I'm saying this is that some people will think it's not faith. Some people think it's not faith to plan. Men of faith, that some men of faith, they are telling us that praying without planning is playing without knowing. You are praying without planning. You are playing without knowing. Because in fact, I don't even know what to pray for if we are not planning. Where are we? Where are we going to? What do I need God's intervention on? Abi? It's by clarity of thought in planning. Then you can now know this is what, Lord, I need to do this to affect this. But you cannot be scattered in your head or disorganized in your life and be saying, God, intervene. Intervene in what? If he intervenes, how do you even know? Does that make sense? The third one is capital expenditure. What are capital expenditure? They are things that you want to purchase that require high volume of finances, that if you take on at once, it will have an adverse effect on you for a long period. Do you get what I'm saying? So the best thing is I put money aside for it gradually. For example, maybe at someone's particular age, or maybe you want to buy your first car. It might not be advised that you just take money, boom, because money came into your hand and go and buy it. Decide to say, oh, I want to get a car. As money is coming to my hand, a percentage is going into maybe car account. When the money is complete, that's when I buy it. I don't buy it because I have the money cash in my hand. I buy it when I'm able to afford it. Hope you know there are different things. That you have money in your hand doesn't mean you can afford something. Do you get it? That I have money in my hand doesn't mean I can afford to do something that is presenting itself to me. That's why a lot of people, because they lack financial literacy and they lack financial discipline, then they do a lot of impulse buy. All right, so are we clear? Are we clear? Investment is what? Is you put in money to make money. You put in time to make you get money, or you put in an input to get even more output. So emergency is, unforeseen circumstances that show up and all. So you must plan for that. So those are the three things that your savings go for. So I don't just save for savings sake. Like I save to save my life. That's emergency. This one is to save your life. There are other ones that you must save to invest so that you can have more. They are the one that, I want to do a capital expenditure, that I take the time to pile up the money and to do. In fact, in some level of financial intelligence, some people went back on a project. They have all the money, but they'll never use their money. They'll rather go and use bank's money. Let's share the risk. If it goes down, let's go down together. If it will go up, we'll share it. I'm not greedy. We'll share it. But I will not use my money. That's how a lot of people run projects. So I want to really thank you. Thank you for joining us at today's and the series on Illuminate. Thank you. God bless you real good. I will believe this blessed you. So for feedback, for questions, for all of the contributions that you want to give to us, please send them in and go back to the previous series of Illuminate. They will really bless you. Thank you so much for staying in. God bless you. Until next time.